what's going on, guys? Call sign Inc. here, and today I'm bringing you my loadout for American Milsim's Copperhead 2.5 coming up at the beginning of September. We're going to be running on the PSA side, so to start off my loadout video, we're going to start with the pattern. We're running with the Multicam Tropic, and this set is true spec, both tops and bottoms. I went with it just because of the affordability, and it's actually pretty comfortable. I suggest running it through the wash a couple times to make the material a little bit softer, but other than that, I really have no complaints with it so far. Now for kids, starting up at the top, I have this Bravo base jump style helmet. I chose this helmet again just because of the affordability, as well as the fact that it's nice and lightweight, seeing as I don't run anything like night vision. All I have is my GoPro and a battery pouch in the back, as well as the Avengers Tactical IFF light up top, and it's able to hold all that comfortably. It's not too heavy, as well as the ventilation up top gives it nice airflow so my head doesn't get too hot. Connected to the helmet, I just have a basic Bravo style black mesh mask. I've done a little bit of modification to it so that way I can just clip it into the helmet. Clips out in and out nice and easily, so that way I can take it off when I'm not using it and I don't have to take off my whole head kit. Now for eye protection, to comply with American Milsim's rule set, I decided to go with the Bobster Charger glasses. These offer full seal eye protection, again to comply with all of the rules, and so far I've played a couple games with them. I've had absolutely no fogging issues. I highly recommend these. They're very comfortable as well as affordable. I think these are about $25, depending on where you get them. I think some places you can find them a little bit cheaper, but I do highly recommend these. Moving on down, we have my Diamondback Tactical Plate Carrier. This plate carrier is on the higher side of price range, but I got it from a teammate for an extremely good deal, and I just couldn't pass it up. That being said, I don't have a bad thing to say about this carrier. It's very comfortable, very rigid. I played a lot with this carrier, and there's no sign of any wear or tear on it at all. It has a large field of loop up top and in the upper back for any sorts of patches or any other accessories that you want to mount via Velcro or hook and loop. In the front of my plate carrier here, I have inserted the Condor mag pouch insert. I prefer this method of mag retention just because of the fact that if I do need to go prone at any point, it lets me get a lot lower to the ground, and I don't have those Velcro flaps to worry about. I'm not a big fan of those. They honestly just get in the way and make your reloads take a little bit longer. Moving on over to my right side, I have my hydration tube here, and I have it clipped down to the molly on the lower part of my plate carrier. This just keeps it out of the way and keeps it nice and low to my shoulder strap, so that way when I shoulder my rifle it doesn't get in the way. Over here I have a double grenade pouch that I picked up from my local surplus store, and lucky enough for me, it perfectly fits the Enola Gay EG-18s, which we'll be using a lot of at the upcoming event. So over on this left side I have my Elite Force Dead Rag, and I also have my Baofeng speaker mic, which is connected over here on my left side to my Baofeng UV5R. Over here on my left I have a double taco pouch. It's holding my KWA K120s that I'll be using. This is really the only mag that I use, the only mag that I have. They feed flawlessly. I've never had an issue with them, no jams, no misfeeds, anything like that. So I highly recommend these magazines. They're very popular for a reason. Now moving over to my back, here I have the Condor hydration pack, the matching bladder, and mollied over the top of that I've got the Condor deployment bag, which will be acting as my IFAK, as well as carrying my ACE bandages to comply with the medic rules of American Milsim. And I'll also be carrying an extra magazine or two and a couple grenades in each side. Now moving on down to my belt. This belt is the Ysibo Tactical Molly belt. I got it off Amazon. It's basically a knockoff version of the Ronin Tactics Senshi belt. It is lower tier quality. It's not as rigid as the Senshi belt, but for the price point of $25 compared to $130, it's really hard to beat. Now, on the right side of my belt, I have my KJW 1911. Fantastic pistol. No complaints about it. I haven't had any problems with it in the about 4 or 5 months that I've had it. The one thing that I definitely do like about it is the fact that it comes with a red nozzle. So besides just taking the green gas magazines, it actually has the ability to carry the CO2 magazines and handle the power from that. And that is sitting in the Blackhawk circle holster that I've customized a little bit. I had to do some grinding and some cutting down of the holster to make it fit. On the left side of my belt, I have the Condor double pistol magazine pouch. In one of the pouches, I carry a spare magazine for my KJW 1911. And in the other pouch, I carry a Leatherman multi-tool. I find it's just very useful to have a multi-tool in the field just in case gun goes down and it might be an easy fix. You can just break it down right there instead of having to go all the way back and find your tool bag or something like that. And behind that I have my Condor dump pouch. I like this dump pouch because it's able to hold my entire loadout of magazines, as well as having this little lid up here on the top to keep them all from jumping out. I had an old dump pouch. It was much smaller and it did not have that lid, and I found myself losing magazines all the time. And the magazines are not cheap at all, especially if you're going with something like the K120. They're about $12 a piece. So it's not something that you want to lose. Definitely worth it to invest in a $15 to $20 dump pouch that will keep them in there rather than having to replace magazines every few weeks. Last but definitely not least are my gloves. These are the Mechanics Covert Vents. I just got these in about 5 days ago. I got to play one game with them and I am highly impressed. They've got excellent ventilation, your hands don't get sweaty, and you still have plenty of dexterity to use your phone, push any buttons, say on the GoPro or anything like that. Just definite 5 out of 5 stars for these gloves. This is absolutely my favorite pair of gloves that I've ever used. I can't see switching from these anytime in the near future. Now for my primary weapon, I will be using the Crytac Trident CRB. The internals of this gun have pretty much remained stock, except for the R-hop that has been done to it by my buddy Jared. Thank you, Jared. This thing is absolutely flawless. The distance that it gets, especially after the R-hop, the trigger response, everything. I could not be happier with this gun. I picked it up for a steal, and like I said, there's just not a single complaint I have had about this thing. Now as far as accessories on the outside of the gun, I've got here a T1 replica red dot sight, a Cisno LED 1000 lumen flashlight. I picked this up on Amazon for 25 bucks. Fantastic deal, performs great, haven't had a single problem with it so far. And I do have that mounted to a pressure switch, which I've got zip tied onto the rails. Here I've got the Magpul angled foregrip. I just got this actually in a trade from a buddy of mine, and I definitely prefer it over the Magpul RVG. Just like the way that the angle sits with my hand and lets me grip the gun a little bit better. On top of that, I also have the Troy Industries flip-up sights, both front and rear. The ambidextrous charging handle has been replaced from the stock one, as well as the Magpul MOE stock. Now, as far as the stock goes, it's very nice stock for real steel. In my opinion, for an airsoft AEG, it just doesn't have the battery space that I'd like. So I do plan on going back to the Crytac stock at some point, just to be able to house the batteries that I would like to house. And last connected to this, as far as my sling goes, is the Magpul MS2. Now I prefer this sling over the MS1 and the MS3, purely because of the material that it is made out of. It's nice and slick so it doesn't get caught up on my gear. Nice and rugged. I've had it for quite a while and it's done well for me so far.
Got him.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you like this video and would like to see more, please be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and if you haven't already, click the link in the center of the screen to check out my last video. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the field.